The empty seat. The great chamber of the Galactic Council stretched farther than the eye could see. Its walls, made of transparent alloys, reflected the distant stars of countless galaxies. Thousands of representatives from different species had gathered, each one unique in shape, color, and form. Some floated in anti-gravity chairs, others walked on multiple legs, and a few hovered, glowing softly above the polished floor. The council had existed for centuries, a place where disputes were settled, alliances forged, and wars avoided. Yet, for the 51st time in 50 years, one seat remained empty. The seat assigned to Earth, the home of humanity, had no representative. It sat silently, waiting, a reminder that humans had ignored the Council's repeated invitations. Ambassador Leora of the Xyrix Empire stepped forward, her scales glinting red under the chamber's lights. She raised her hands in frustration. 51 summits, she said, her voice echoing across the vast hall. 51 times we extended our hand to the humans, and 51 times they refused to join our treaties. They do not send ambassadors, they do not trade, they do not participate in our collective defense network. Nothing, only silence, and polite refusals from automated systems. Her words stirred murmurs among the other delegates. Some were curious, some amused, and a few skeptical. From across the chamber, the Quellan representative, his crystalline body chiming with each movement, raised a manipulator limb. Perhaps they simply wish to remain neutral. Many civilizations choose isolation. It is not unusual. Leora laughed, a sharp sound that echoed like breaking glass. Isolation? Do not confuse shyness with purpose. They were given faster-than-light travel by the Andari, the first species to contact them. They were shown the wonders of the galaxy, offered protection, trade, and friendship. And what do? They retreat to their small, single-star system and hide, like frightened children. The Andari delegate, a slender, graceful figure with translucent skin, spoke quietly. They did thank us for the gift. That is true. Leora's laugh was harsh and unyielding. Grateful? Yes, they were grateful. But gratitude does not build empires. It does not protect a civilization from the threats that lurk in the dark. Our intelligence reports show minimal expansion. A few mining operations on distant planets, some orbital stations. They remain on their home world, seemingly primitive, fearful of what lies beyond their skies. What Leora did not know, and what none of the Council did, was that this was only part of the story. Far beyond the prying eyes of alien intelligence, humanity had been preparing. Slowly, carefully, patiently. In the cold darkness between Mars and Jupiter, something massive moved silently. To any casual scan, it looked like a rogue asteroid drifting through the belt. But sensors tuned for detail revealed something far stranger. Lights glowed from within the object, corridors ran through its interior, and manufacturing plants operated at full capacity. Fusion reactors hummed, powering operations that would have been impossible to conceal. Commander Maya Okoro walked through one of the assembly bays, her magnetic boots clicking against the smooth metal floor. Around her, the skeletal frame of a massive vessel rose from the floor. It was larger than any known ship in the galaxy, its weapon systems already installed and tested. Workers moved efficiently, assembling components with precision that would have astonished even the most skilled alien engineers. "Status report," Maya said, speaking into her communicator. "Hull plating is 63% complete," came the response. "Weapon systems are operational, and reactors are at full capacity. Launch readiness projected in 8 months. Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Good. And the other sites? Delta is ahead of schedule. Gamma is slightly behind, but within acceptable limits. Sites Epsilon through Zeta are all green." Maya nodded. These were not ordinary shipyards. They were hidden, built over decades, disguised as mining stations, research outposts, or even harmless debris fields. Humanity had mastered the art of hiding in plain sight. Meanwhile, back at the Galactic Council, Leora continued her address. "They cannot be trusted to defend themselves," she warned. The outer rim grows more dangerous by the year. Pirates raid shipping lanes, and the harvester swarms grow stronger. If humanity remains outside the collective defense network, they will fall, and their system could become a staging ground for our enemies. The Quellan representative tilted his crystalline head. So, what do you propose? Protective integration, Leora replied. The Xyrix Empire will extend its shield to the Sol system. We will establish defense stations. We will garrison forces on Earth and its colonies. We will protect them, whether they wish it or not. The chamber erupted into debate. Some representatives supported Leora's plan. Others argued it was unethical to impose protection on an unwilling species. But eventually, the vote passed by a narrow majority. Leora's scales glinted crimson. It is decided, she said. The fleet will depart for Earth within the month. We will bring them into civilization, one way or another. In the communications center of Construction Site Alpha, Commander Maya watched the broadcast end. Around her, officers stood in silence. They're coming, said one quietly. Yes, Maya replied. They're coming. Do we tell them? Do we reveal what we've built? She paused. 50 years of planning, of preparation, had led to this moment. The galaxy believed Earth was weak, insignificant. They were wrong. Not yet, Maya decided. Let them come. Let them see what they expect. And if they force our hand, they will see the truth. The chamber at the council, the empty seat, the silent humans. None of it told the whole story. The galaxy had assumed weakness, but humanity had spent decades waiting, watching, and building in secret. And soon, the truth would be impossible to ignore. Humanity's hidden industry. Far beyond the eyes of the Galactic Council, in the cold darkness of the asteroid belt, humanity worked in silence. The galaxy thought Earth was weak, primitive, and insignificant. But behind the veil of emptiness, humanity's industrial power had been growing for decades. Massive structures floated among the asteroids, disguised as mining operations, research outposts, or even random debris fields. No alien sensors had ever detected them. Commander Maya Okoro moved through the assembly bay of Construction Site Alpha. Her magnetic boots clicked against the polished metal floor. She passed rows of workers, humans in reinforced suits, moving with careful precision. Each corridor was filled with machinery and equipment that hummed with energy. Artificial gravity kept everyone comfortable, even in the vast emptiness of space. Before her stood a skeleton of a vessel unlike any other. Its frame was larger than any ship in the known galaxy. The hull gleamed under the lights, already fitted with weapon mounts and reactor conduits. Entire sections had been manufactured and tested. Humanity had not just built a ship, they had built an armada. Commander! A voice came through her communicator. It was Lieutenant Rena Malik from Site Delta. We are ahead of schedule. Hull plating is nearly complete, and the primary weapon systems are fully installed. Launch readiness projected in 7 months. Maya nodded. Good. And the other sites? All green, Commander, Rena replied. Gamma is slightly behind, but nothing critical. Sites Epsilon through Zeta are fully operational. We are ready for integration. Maya allowed herself a small smile. These were not ordinary shipyards. They were hidden, carefully designed to avoid detection. They called them sites instead of shipyards. Shipyards showed up on sensors. Sites were invisible, disguised as harmless asteroid operations, research labs, or old mining facilities. Humanity had perfected the art of hiding in plain sight. She walked past another assembly bay, where hundreds of workers were piecing together the skeletal frames of ships even larger than the one she had just inspected. Entire wings of the fleet were coming together simultaneously, each site specializing in different components. Fusion reactors, energy shields, propulsion systems, everything was being built at once under strict secrecy. Commander, Rena said again, we've received a new priority message. The Galactic Council broadcast is active. Ambassador Leora is speaking. Maya walked to the communications center. Screens lined the walls, displaying data from every site and from across the solar system. On the main display, Ambassador Leora's red scales gleamed as she spoke to the council. They cannot be trusted to defend themselves, Leora warned. Pirates raid shipping lanes. Harvester swarms grow stronger in the outer rim. Without integration into the collective defense network, humanity remains vulnerable. And when they fall, their system could become a staging ground for our enemies. Maya listened quietly, her face calm. The council believed humanity was weak. They thought Earth had no fleet, no defenses, no ability to fight back. They were wrong. Commander, Lieutenant Malik said, we are also receiving fleet updates. Warm Mastercale is preparing a fleet of 200 warships to deploy to the solar system. They will arrive within weeks. Maya's eyes narrowed. The galaxy's most powerful fleet was coming, confident that Earth was defenseless. It would be a test, but humanity had prepared for this moment for 50 years. Let them come, Maya said softly. Let them see what they expect to see. The communication officer updated the displays. Energy readings from the hidden shipyards remained steady. Each site was operating at full capacity. Automated drones moved swiftly between sections, assembling, inspecting, and maintaining systems with perfect precision. Humans had built a network that no alien fleet could penetrate without detection. And yet, it remained invisible. Across the asteroid belt, another site unfolded its operations. Hundreds of smaller vessels were being prepared for deployment. These ships were fast, agile, and capable of automated combat. They were meant to defend key strategic points, disable invaders, and maintain the secrecy of Earth's construction efforts. Humans had combined ingenuity, technology, and patience to create a system that would astonish anyone who discovered it. Maya walked toward the control room of Site Alpha, where the fleet's command network connected all sites in real time. Screens displayed construction progress, weapon calibration, energy readings, and fleet readiness. Every system was tested, every procedure rehearsed. Humanity had not only built an armada, they had built a machine of war, intelligence, and defense, all ready to awaken at a single command. Commander, her second-in-command, Lieutenant Arjun Desai, said, all sites report readiness. We are within schedule. The fleet will be complete long before Warm Mastercale arrives. Maya nodded. Excellent. Ensure all stealth systems remain operational. Nothing must be detected until the time is right. Our advantage lies in surprise. The galaxy has underestimated us for too long. Let them continue to believe we are weak. Lieutenant Desai hesitated, then said, Commander, do we prepare to communicate with them? Should we warn them? Maya shook her head. Not yet. 50 years of planning cannot be revealed in a moment of fear. We have learned from our own history. Peace is hope, but hope alone is not enough. Preparation is the true safeguard. Let them come. Let them see our strength, and let them learn respect. Outside the hidden asteroid structures, automated patrol drones silently moved through the belt, scanning for threats. Stealth systems cloaked the shipyards, rendering them invisible to all known detection methods. Sensors monitored the approaching fleet, tracking each warship without revealing the human's presence. For 50 years, humanity had remained quiet, hidden, and underestimated. Now, as the galaxy prepared to act against what it thought was a primitive, backward civilization, humanity's hidden industry stood ready. The fleets were almost complete, the automated defenses fully operational, and the command networks synchronized. The moment of revelation was near. Maya Okoro stood in the center of the command room, her eyes scanning the array of screens. The galaxy thought they knew humanity. They were about to discover the truth. Earth was not weak. Earth had been preparing. Earth had built an empire in the shadows. And when the time came, humanity would show the galaxy the power it had earned, piece by piece, system by system. And as she looked at the massive skeletal ships stretching toward the ceiling, she allowed herself a single quiet thought. Let them come. Let them see. The Council's concern. Back in the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, tension filled the air. The representatives of countless species leaned forward, their eyes fixed on Ambassador Leora of the Xyrix Empire. Her crimson scales glimmered under the chamber lights, reflecting her anger and determination. "They refuse our help," Leora declared, her voice echoing across the vast hall. "They have rejected trade, protection, and membership in the collective defense network. And yet, they continue to advance their technology, isolated in their system. This is unacceptable. Humanity is vulnerable, and their refusal endangers the entire sector." Murmurs rose among the delegates. Some nodded in agreement while others looked skeptical. The Quellan representative, his crystalline body chiming softly, raised a limb. "Are you certain, Ambassador? Perhaps we are overestimating the threat. Humanity may simply choose to remain isolated." Leora shook her head. "Neutrality is not the same as ignorance. The humans have been given every opportunity. They were contacted 50 years ago by the Andari. They received faster-than-light travel, advanced technologies, and knowledge of the galaxy. And yet, they refuse all contact. They ignore us deliberately. And now, with the outer rim growing unstable, their inaction could have consequences for everyone." The Andari delegate, slender and graceful, spoke softly. "They are a patient species. Perhaps we should consider that they are preparing in their own way." Leora's eyes narrowed. "Preparation or not, we cannot leave them alone. If pirates, harvesters, or other hostile factions attack, Earth could fall. And if Earth falls, their system becomes a staging ground for enemies. We cannot allow that to happen." A heated debate erupted in the chamber. Some representatives argued that it was unethical to force protection on an unwilling civilization. Others insisted that leaving humanity unguarded was irresponsible. The voices rose and fell like waves, echoing under the transparent dome that showed the stars beyond. Finally, the council called for a vote. With a narrow majority, the measure passed. Leora's scales shimmered as she smiled. "It is decided. The Xyrix Empire will extend protection to the Sol system. Forces will be deployed, whether they wish it or not. We will establish defense stations, garrison troops, and ensure their survival. One way or another, humanity will be brought into the galactic community." Across the galaxy, preparations began. Warm Master Kale, commander of the Xyrix fleet, stood aboard his flagship, the Crimson Talon. Behind him, 200 warships moved in precise formation through faster-than-light space. Each vessel was armed with plasma cannons, energy shields, and advanced weaponry capable of overwhelming most civilizations. Kale's confidence was absolute. "We will exit faster-than-light travel at the edge of their system," he ordered. "We give them time to see us, to understand the futility of resistance. Then we proceed to their home world and establish our garrison." His second-in-command, Lieutenant Jarrell, hesitated. "What if they resist?" Kale laughed. "Resist? With what? Intelligence reports show 30 orbital defense platforms, primitive kinetic weapons, and some missiles. We have 200 warships, each larger and more powerful than anything they could hope to build. If they resist, we will disable their defenses without destroying them. This is a demonstration, not a war." Meanwhile, back in the Sol system, sensors monitored the approaching fleet. Humanity remained hidden, just as they had for decades. Every shipyard, research station, and asteroid site operated silently. Automated systems scanned for intruders, but nothing detected the scale of the fleet that lay in wait. Commander Maya Okoro stood in the control room of Construction Site Alpha, her eyes scanning the displays. The Council's broadcast reached her terminals, showing Leora's speech and the vote passing. The Xyrix fleet would arrive soon, confident that Earth was defenseless. "They believe we are weak," Maya said softly. "Let them continue to believe it. Let them see only what we allow." Her officers watched in silence. The scale of humanity's preparation was staggering, but it remained unseen by the galaxy. Automated drones moved through the asteroid belt, maintaining systems and ensuring that every site remained operational. Stealth fields cloaked the fleets, hiding them from any sensors. Lieutenant Arjun Desai approached Maya. "Commander, the Xyrix fleet is moving into our system. They will arrive at the outer planets within hours." Maya nodded. "Good. Let them arrive. They expect compliance. They expect fear. Let us show them patience instead. 50 years of preparation cannot be revealed all at once. The moment will come, and it will be precise. Outside, humanity's hidden fleet stirred like a coiled serpent. Massive hulls, weapon platforms, and smaller strike vessels lay in wait, invisible to all who scanned the system. The asteroid belt, once considered empty, concealed hundreds of operational units. Orbital stations around Mars, Jupiter, and the outer planets monitored the incoming fleet. Maya turned back to the central display. On it, the edge of the Sol system was visible, showing Xyrex warships entering at faster-than-light speeds. They moved with the confidence of invaders who expected an easy victory. Every vessel gleamed with power, every formation precise. Yet they had no idea what waited for them. The galaxy believes in their own intelligence, Maya said to her officers. They assume knowledge of our capabilities, but they know nothing. Let them continue to assume. We will show them the truth when the time is right. The countdown had begun. The Council's vote had sealed the fate of the approaching fleet, and Earth's hidden armada waited silently for the signal. The humans had prepared for this moment for decades, mastering the art of secrecy, patience, and strategy. The galaxy thought Earth was weak, but soon they would witness a power beyond imagination. Maya stood silently, her eyes fixed on the approaching fleet. "Let them come," she whispered. "Let them see what humans can do." And with that, the stage was set. The Xyrex fleet, confident and powerful, approached a system that seemed defenseless. Humanity, patient and hidden for 50 years, awaited the moment when the galaxy would finally learn the truth. Earth was ready. Arrival of the invaders. The edge of the Sol system shimmered as the Xyrex fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel. 200 warships, each larger and more heavily armed than anything Earth had ever seen, or the galaxy had expected from humans, spread across space in perfect formation. Plasma cannons glinted faintly against the dark void, and energy shields shimmered with barely contained power. Warm Master Kale stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Crimson Talon, watching the planets ahead. "Scan the system," Kale ordered. "I want full readings on every planet, asteroid belt, and moon. I want to know their defenses before we move in." The sensor officers worked swiftly. Energy readings, gravitational anomalies, orbital stations, all were scanned and catalogued. "Outer planets clear," one reported. "No military presence detected. The asteroid belt appears empty. Only civilian mining craft are active." Kale's eyes narrowed. "No fleet? None? Not even token resistance?" "Negative, Warm Master," the officer replied. "Minimal defense platforms orbit Earth. Approximately 30. Weapons cannot penetrate our shields. They have no fleet." Kale leaned back in his command chair, a smile forming on his face. "Excellent. They have no hope. Open a channel to Earth. Let them know they have one chance to comply." The communication line opened, and a calm human face appeared on the screen. The man had gray hair and a composed expression. No military uniform marked his rank, only a plain, practical suit. "This is Earth's central authority," he said. "Identify yourself." "I am Warm Master Kale of the Xyrex Empire," Kale replied, his voice firm and commanding. "We come by authority of the Galactic Council to extend protection to your system. Stand down your defenses and prepare to receive our garrison forces." The human's expression did not change. "We do not recognize the Galactic Council's authority over human space. We did not request your protection. You have 24 hours to withdraw from this system." Kale's lips curved into a laugh. "You dare give me an ultimatum? Human, look at your sensors. We have 200 warships. You have 30 orbital platforms. You have no fleet. You cannot stop us. 24 hours. Consider this a generous warning." The human repeated calmly, 24 hours. After that, your presence will be considered an act of war." The communication cut off. Kale stared at the blank screen in disbelief. His officers whispered to each other, nervous but trying to hide it. The audacity of these humans, so small, so primitive, was almost admirable. Almost Change of plans, Kale said. His voice was steady but tinged with impatience. We will move in 12 hours instead of 24. Let them see the futility of resistance. I want them to understand respect. The fleet advanced toward the inner planets, passing the asteroid belt with minimal attention to the mining operations and research stations detected there. Kale expected panic. He expected desperate communications, perhaps even an attack. But there was only silence from Earth. This is strange, his second-in-command, Lieutenant Jarrell, muttered. They should respond. They should be afraid. Kale shook his head. No. Fear is too simple. Observe. Patience will make them compliant, or show us who they really are. The 12-hour deadline passed. Kale prepared to issue his final warning, but then the sensors began registering anomalies. Tiny energy signatures flickered where nothing should exist. Subtle distortions in space appeared at multiple locations. Warm Master, the sensor officer said, frowning at the display. We are detecting irregular readings. Multiple locations. Hundreds. Running diagnostics now. The main view of the Sol system updated. And what they saw froze every officer on the bridge. The asteroid belt was not empty. It was a fortress. Massive weapons platforms, hidden among the tumbling rocks, activated simultaneously. Each one could destroy a capital ship. What is this? Jarrell whispered. Mining stations? No, Kale replied, his voice tightening. They are shipyards. Hundreds of them. And there's more. Sensors scanned farther, revealing orbital stations near Mars and Jupiter. What had appeared as small research outposts unfolded into massive complexes, each bristling with weapons, communications arrays, and monitoring systems. And then, in the darkness beyond Neptune, 2,000 human vessels appeared. Engines flared, weapons systems powered up, and stealth fields dropped. The hidden fleet had been there all along, waiting. Now, it revealed itself in a single, coordinated display of power. Kale's hand trembled slightly as he whispered, Impossible. How did we not detect them? The answer was horrifying. Humanity had spent 50 years building this fleet, secretly and meticulously. Every shipyard, every platform, every weapon system had been prepared in silence. They had built not for war, but for the day when the galaxy might force them to fight. The communication signal pinged again. Another human appeared on the screen. Calm, expressionless, but commanding. Your 12 hours are up, Warm Master Kale. We asked you to leave. You refused. Now you will see why that was a mistake. Kale opened his mouth to respond, but the human had already closed the channel. The Sol system was no longer a quiet, defenseless backwater. It was a fortress, ready for war. Kale's officers stared at the viewports. The humans had revealed the unimaginable. A fleet more powerful than anything they had ever imagined. The Xyrix Empire had expected compliance, fear, maybe even surrender. Instead, they faced preparedness and overwhelming strength, hidden for decades. Maya Okoro, watching the approaching fleet from the command center of Site Alpha, allowed herself a small smile. The time had come. 50 years of patience, secrecy, and preparation would soon be shown to the galaxy. And Earth, underestimated for so long, would finally take its place among the stars as a power to be reckoned with. The hidden armada awakens. The sensors aboard the Crimson Talon flickered with confusion and alarm. The Xyrix fleet had entered the solar system expecting an empty, defenseless backwater. What they found instead defied belief. The asteroid belt, once thought barren, had transformed before their eyes. Massive weapons platforms, disguised as rocks and debris, powered up in perfect synchronization. Their energy signatures glowed faintly, just enough to register on the fleet's sensors. Hundreds of orbital stations around Mars and Jupiter unfolded like mechanical flowers, revealing arrays of weapons, shield generators, and monitoring stations. And then, far beyond Neptune, the sight that shattered the Xyrix officers' confidence appeared. A fleet of 2,000 human ships, each one larger and more heavily armed than the Crimson Talon itself. Engines flared, shields shimmered, and weapons systems came online. For 50 years, these ships had remained hidden. Now, they revealed themselves in a breathtaking, coordinated display. Warm Master Kale's hand trembled over the control panel. "Impossible," he whispered. How did we miss this?" His second-in-command, Lieutenant Jarrell, stared at the displays in disbelief. "They've been building all this for 50 years? Hidden? Invisible?" "Yes," Kale said, his voice low, almost shaking. "We underestimated them. Completely." On the command deck of Construction Site Alpha, Commander Maya Okoro watched the Xyrex fleet through real-time tactical feeds. Her expression was calm, almost serene. Around her, officers monitored the hidden fleet, now fully activated and in position. Automated drones moved across the fleet, coordinating movements, scanning for threats, and preparing defenses. "Engage stealth sensors fully," Maya ordered. "Ensure nothing can detect our final positioning until we are ready. Prepare automated defense protocols. Targeting arrays are online." Lieutenant Arjun Desai, standing beside her, couldn't hide his awe. "Commander, this is incredible. The fleet, it's massive." Maya nodded. "And it's just the beginning. The Xyrex fleet believes they have power. They believe they can intimidate us. They are about to learn the truth." The human vessels were arranged in strategic formations, each ship systems synchronized across the entire fleet. Massive battleships, agile strike crafts, and automated defense units formed a network designed for maximum efficiency. The fleet's artificial intelligence could calculate millions of tactical possibilities in seconds, coordinating attacks, defenses, and electronic countermeasures seamlessly. Meanwhile, Kale attempted to communicate once more, his pride refusing to accept the situation. "Open a channel," he barked. The screen flickered, and another human appeared. She was clad in a military uniform, her expression calm but commanding. "Warm Master Kale," she said. "I am Fleet Admiral Hannah Chun of the United Earth Space Force. You have entered our system without invitation. You will remain in place while we disable your fleet. No one will be harmed. Once complete, recovery vessels will tow your ships to a safe distance. Then you will return to the Galactic Council with a message." Kale's eyes widened. What message?" Admiral Chun leaned forward slightly, her voice firm. "Tell them we have been listening, watching. Every council session, every debate, every vote for 50 years. We stayed away not out of fear or weakness, but because we were preparing. And now you have seen a fraction of what we are capable of." Kale's second-in-command, Jarrell, looked around the bridge, pale with disbelief. "Fraction?" he whispered. This is only a fraction?" Chen's eyes never wavered. "Yes, consider this the visible part. Our fleets, our defenses, and our technological capabilities are far beyond what you imagined. Attempting to force your will on humanity will result in defeat." Then, without any warning, the human fleet acted. Weapons systems emitted pulses of energy designed not to kill, but to disable. Every single Xyrex vessel froze. Engines stopped, shields locked in place, and communication systems failed. Fire control systems shut down simultaneously, overridden by unseen codes that bypassed every firewall. In 10 minutes, the entire Xyrex fleet was helpless. Their crews were unharmed, but their warships were locked in place, disabled by precision cyber warfare and advanced automated defenses. Kale stared at the displays, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The pride of the Xyrex Empire, 200 warships meant to intimidate a primitive species, floated helpless in space. The humans had not fired a single shot. Not one. Admiral Chun appeared on the screen again. "Warm Master Kale, this is your only warning. You entered our system uninvited. You believed humanity to be weak. You were wrong. Return to the Galactic Council and tell them the truth. Earth is prepared. Earth is not to be underestimated. And if they ever attempt to force their will on us again, they will face the full strength of our forces." Maya Okoro watched silently as the Xyrex fleet struggled to regain control. Systems failed. Communication attempts burned out. Every vessel was perfectly neutralized, without harm to a single individual. Lieutenant Desai spoke softly, his voice filled with awe. "Commander, they thought we were primitives. They came to intimidate us. And now, they are powerless." Maya allowed herself a quiet smile. "Let them see. Let the galaxy see. This is what preparation, patience, and ingenuity achieve." They assumed fear. They assumed weakness. And now they know the truth. Across the solar system, automated defense systems ensured every human installation remained safe. The hidden fleet, now fully revealed, demonstrated both the technological superiority and strategic brilliance of humanity. 50 years of planning had culminated in this single moment, a demonstration not of violence, but of control, precision, and intelligence. Kale slumped in his command chair. His fleet, proud, powerful, unstoppable, had been neutralized by humans without a single shot fired. The audacity of the species was shocking, the scale of preparation unimaginable. Commander Maya Okoro turned from the tactical display and addressed her officers. "Remember this moment. Humanity has been underestimated for too long. Today we have shown the galaxy our strength. But this is only the beginning. We act with precision, with care, and with purpose. Let them remember humans are not weak. Humans are ready." The hidden armada had awakened, and the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The non-lethal strike. The Xyrix fleet hung helpless in orbit, their engines frozen, shields locked, and weapon systems disabled. On the bridge of the Crimson Talon, warm Master Kale's face was pale, his pride shattered. 200 of the most formidable warships in the galaxy floated in place, unable to move, while the humans who had once seemed primitive now held absolute control. This is impossible," Kale whispered, staring at the view screen as a calm, female voice appeared. Fleet Admiral Hannah Chun of the United Earth Space Force addressed him with measured authority. "Warm Master Kale," she said, her tone firm but composed. "You entered our system without invitation and with hostile intent. Your fleet is disabled, but no one has been harmed. We are giving you the opportunity to withdraw safely. Recovery vessels will tow your ships to a safe distance. Then you will return to the Galactic Council and deliver a message. One they cannot ignore." Kale's second-in-command, Lieutenant Jarrell, shook his head in disbelief. "Not a single ship destroyed. They disabled us without violence." "How?" Chen's expression did not change. "Our systems are designed to neutralize threats precisely. Weapons, engines, and communication systems can all be overridden by cyber and electronic protocols. It is non-lethal but fully effective. Your fleet will remain disabled until you comply. Attempting resistance will achieve nothing. Understand that your arrogance has been met with calculation and preparation." Across the solar system, human automated defense systems hummed with quiet efficiency. Drones moved with perfect precision between the fleets, ensuring that every disabled system remained under control. Sensors monitored the Xyrix fleet, and their every attempted maneuver was countered by algorithms that anticipated and neutralized action before it could occur. On the command deck of Construction Site Alpha, Commander Maya Okoro observed the operation with calm satisfaction. The hidden fleet had achieved its objective without firing a single shot. Humans had shown that intelligence, preparation, and patience could defeat brute force. Lieutenant Arjun Desai leaned closer to the display. "Commander, the Xyrix fleet believed they could intimidate us. They expected panic. But we've proven something far greater than just firepower. Strategy, timing, precision. They can't match it." Maya nodded. "Exactly. The galaxy has assumed that might makes right. They assume fear is control. Today, we've demonstrated something they will remember. Preparation and ingenuity can overcome any force. And we did it without unnecessary destruction. That is the strength of humanity." The disabled Xyrix warships floated in formation, completely immobilized. Human engineers and AI systems had calculated every possible way the enemy could respond and countered it. The fleet's weapons were jammed, engines locked, communications jammed, and navigation systems overridden. Not a single life was lost, yet the Xyrix were completely powerless. Kale clenched his fists. He had expected resistance, perhaps a desperate attack, maybe even a feeble counterstrike. Instead, he found humans had mastered the art of control without destruction. His pride as a warrior and warm master of the Xyrix Empire had been shattered, replaced by awe, disbelief, and a creeping fear. Fleet Admiral Chen's voice came again over the communications link. Warm Master Kale, Fleet Admiral Jarrell, you are to return to the Galactic Council and report exactly what you have seen. Humanity does not act out of fear. Humanity does not act recklessly. But we act with preparation, precision, and purpose. Your fleet is disabled, but intact. No one has been harmed. This is our message to the galaxy. Earth is ready. Earth is not to be underestimated. Any attempt to force our hand again will result in total neutralization of hostile forces. Kale stared silently, unable to respond. He had been trained for decades to command fleets, to intimidate, and to conquer. Yet here, in the face of humans, he felt powerless. Every calculation, every strategy, every expected outcome had failed. The humans had anticipated, neutralized, and controlled without violence. In the command center of Site Alpha, Maya Okoro finally allowed herself a small smile. The hidden fleet, the decades of planning, the secret shipyards, all had culminated in this moment. Humanity had proven that it was not primitive, not defenseless, not insignificant. The galaxy's assumptions had been shattered, and the stage was set for a new era. Lieutenant Desai shook his head in quiet amazement. Commander, they're going to remember this for a long time. The Council, every species. They will see what humans can do. Maya nodded. Yes, and they will respect it. Not because of fear, but because they understand capability. We act with wisdom, intelligence, and purpose. That is our advantage. In orbit around Earth, the disabled Xyrix fleet awaited the arrival of human recovery vessels. Automated drones moved silently, securing and monitoring each warship. Within hours, the entire fleet would be towed to a safe distance, their crews unharmed, but their power and pride thoroughly humbled. Maya Okoro turned to her officers. Remember this day. Remember what preparation, patience, and intelligence can achieve. Humanity has been underestimated for too long. Today, we've shown the galaxy our strength. But this is only the beginning. The Council will learn a lesson they cannot ignore. Let the message spread. Humans are not weak. Humans are ready. As the hidden armada maintained control over the solar system, the Xyrix fleet, once confident and powerful, floated helplessly. Humanity's message had been delivered. It was precise, non-lethal, and devastating in its impact. The galaxy would never again assume Earth's weakness. And from the command center of Site Alpha, Commander Maya Okoro allowed herself one thought. We have been underestimated for 50 years. Now, the galaxy will remember who we are. The Galactic Revelation. Far away, in the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, the broadcast played on every screen. Ambassador Leora of the Xyrix Empire, her crimson scales now dull with shock, sat frozen. The 200 warships of her fleet, meant to intimidate a primitive species, had been disabled effortlessly. Not a single human casualty had occurred, yet her entire armada was immobilized. This cannot be real, Leora whispered. How did Earth hide all this? The Andari delegate, elegant and calm, leaned forward. They were preparing, she said softly. For 50 years, they built fleets, stations, and weapons in secret. Every council session, every debate, they observed and learned. Their technology, strategy, and planning are far beyond what we expected. A murmur ran through the chamber. Representatives whispered among themselves, disbelief and awe mixing in equal measure. The humans, long thought insignificant, had revealed their power without violence, without provocation, and with precision that no council member could ignore. Cathra of the Vix Empire, a powerful and proud species, clenched her claws on the podium. 50 years, she growled. They've been preparing for 50 years while we assumed weakness. And now our fleets are helpless. How can a species we considered primitive accomplish this? The Quellan representative, his crystalline body shimmering, spoke quietly. Perhaps we judged them unfairly. Perhaps their isolation was not fear, but foresight. They stayed away to learn, to prepare, and to ensure that when the moment came, they would act decisively. On Earth, Commander Maya Okoro monitored the final stages of the operation. Recovery vessels were guiding the disabled Xyrix ships to a safe distance. Automated systems continued to control the armada with perfect precision. Not a life was lost. Humanity had shown strength without cruelty. Lieutenant Arjun Desai, standing beside her, shook his head in quiet amazement. Commander, the Council, the Galaxy, they will never forget this. We've rewritten how they see humanity. Maya nodded. Yes, for 50 years we were underestimated. For 50 years the Galaxy thought Earth was weak. Today we changed that. Not with fear, not with mindless destruction, but with preparation, intelligence, and control. That is our true strength. Back in the Galactic Council, Leora raised her head. We must convene an emergency session, she said, her voice trembling. All members must see what has happened. Humanity cannot be ignored any longer. The council chambers filled with representatives from every known civilization. Screens broadcasted the events in the Sol system, the asteroid belt fortress, the hidden shipyards, the 2,000 ship fleet, and the non-lethal disabling of the Xyrix armada. Gasps echoed throughout the room. Whispers turned into stunned silence. Ambassador Leora finally spoke. We were wrong. Earth is not primitive. Earth is not weak. They have been preparing all this time, and their capabilities are unmatched. Our fleet, powerless. The humans have shown what intelligence, planning, and patience can achieve. They are ready. They are capable. And we have underestimated them for far too long. The Andari delegate nodded. This is a lesson for all of us. We assume strength is measured by visible power. We assumed readiness is shown in fleets and weapons alone. Humanity has taught us that true strength lies in preparation, strategy, and intelligence. Across the galaxy, word of Earth's hidden armada spread. Every council, every government, every military leader saw the broadcast and realized the truth. The planet that had been ignored for centuries had been quietly preparing to defend itself, and now it had revealed its full power. Fleet Admiral Hannah Chun addressed the galaxy via communication networks. We have been listening. We have been watching, not out of fear or weakness, but because preparation is the foundation of survival. Today, humanity has demonstrated that peace and strength can coexist. We will not act recklessly, but we will defend ourselves. Let every species understand this. Earth is ready, and humanity will not be underestimated again. The Xyrix Empire, humiliated yet unharmed, withdrew its disabled fleet to a safe distance. Warm Master Kale and his officers were left to report the truth to the council. Their pride had been shattered, but their lives, and the lives of their crews, remained intact. The humans had not sought revenge. They had sought to teach a lesson in respect, preparation, and restraint. Commander Maya Okoro turned from the display to her officers. Remember this day, she said. The galaxy thought we were weak. They thought we were primitive. They assumed fear would rule our actions. Today we showed them something else. Preparation and intelligence are as powerful as any weapon. And the galaxy will never forget it. Lieutenant Desai smiled. Commander, this changes everything. Humanity is no longer ignored. We are no longer underestimated. The Council, every species. They will respect us from now on. Maya allowed herself a small, quiet smile. Yes, but remember, respect must be earned and maintained. We act with purpose, precision, and patience. That is how humans will lead, protect, and survive. Today is a victory. Tomorrow the real work begins. The galaxy will watch, and we will be ready. Far above Earth, the hidden fleet powered down its defensive systems. The asteroid belt, once a fortress of shadows, returned to its quiet state. Shipyards and stations continued their silent operations. Humans had revealed enough to ensure survival and respect, but not everything. The galaxy would soon learn that Earth's capabilities were far greater than any could imagine. And as the council chambers on distant worlds continued to buzz with shock and awe, Commander Maya Okoro allowed herself one thought. For 50 years, we were underestimated. Today, the galaxy knows the truth. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is ready. And we will never be ignored again.